used to work with you, I actually had a perfect one-to-one, but don't forget that what I did sort of, I don't know, what would it be, 20, 25 feet smaller, so maybe, you know, that little bit of increment of difference has made a difference. So, right back to you, you're sounding good over here, and well, I've got to go to work in about an hour, but I just thought I'd just have a quick play around this morning. My friend came round and very, very kindly helped me, so if you're listening, Steve, thank you for that. And hopefully, you know, we managed to get it as it should be or near enough. I can trim it even more if I need to, but I've done the majority of it now. It just needs a very fine bit of tuning. M0 Juliet Charlie, Florida, in Ashford, listen, Mike 3 Yankee Sugar Bravo. Mike, over to you.
Yeah, Mike 3 Yankee Sugar Bravo, Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Foxtrot, slightly up the road from Ashford in Sidcup in Kent, but there's not too much in it. It's just the M20 gets in the way, that's all there, John. But no, your signal fluctuating on the QSB between a 5 and 5 and 5 and 7 just over, but pretty consistent on the 5 and 7. As I say, it's a good audio, so whatever you've done to that antenna, it is working well. I mean, you're only banging out 10 watts, and I'm just checking the meter now. I'm just nudging 100 watts. But you know, I'm very, very lazy when it comes to HF antennas. I think we've talked before that I just use this 90-foot long wire, not because there's any scientific reason or anything behind it. It's just the fact that I've always had a long wire up for shortwave listening, crystal set building, etc. And I just utilised it for ham radio. I mean, really, I should really get my act together now after all these years and put up something resonant for maybe just 40 or 20 metres or something like that. Normally got a resonant antenna for 10 metres, but that's come down now. I've taken that down and moved it on to someone, and I've got a Diamond CP6 multi-band trapped vertical with radials. And that's got to go up. It's brand new in the box. I bought it just before Christmas. It came via another ham whose dad was a ham, and he went silent key before he got to use it, and it just sat in the garage gathering dust in the box. So I thought I'd replace my 10 metre band vertical with that one. It might be a mistake doing that, I don't know. We'll see when I get it up. It'll be this summer that I'll get it up. And of course for VHF, UHF, I've always got resonant antennas because they're a lot easier to build. You know, they're more practical to build. But when it comes to HF antennas, you know, putting up dipoles and stuff, where my shack is, either in the loft or in the garage, it's sort of an awkward position for things like dipoles and whatever. I've got a nice long garden. The garden's 85 feet long. But as I say, you know, it just means if I put up a big dipole, I've got to have a long feeder from sort of halfway down the garden or something like that. So I will get round to it one day. But yeah, yours is working well. I know you're quite right about the weather. You know, everyone's complaining at the moment about water ingress into various joints and ununs and balins and various other places that water seems to soak its way into and suck its way up the coax. But yeah, I just heard you call in, thought I'd give you a report, and as always, John, I mean, it's very, very consistent. I mean, you certainly know your stuff when it comes to antennas. Just so you know as well, if it's of any interest to you, I've made a very short video. I say short video, we're just coming up to 5 minutes now of this, and I'll put it on my YouTube channel. Just look for M0JCF ham radio, and you'll see it there, and you can judge for yourself, because of course the other thing is as well, what your antenna is doing its job that you want it to do. My antenna is obviously a completely different ball game, and of course it depends on what radio that I'm using. As I say, the FT101ZD is what I'm using at the moment, but it could be a completely different kettle of fish if I was using the TS520S or the TS590S or any other like handful of radios that I could bolt on. So you know, it's all subjective, isn't it, from either end. Anyway, that was a nice old ramble. I'll hand it back to you there, John. M3YSB M0JCF.
Gracious and knowledge. Okay, Mark. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Well, I find that, you know, I've actually got a high gain super penetrator, and this heads and shoulders above the Antron, heads and shoulders above a Sigma, heads and shoulders above all these others. So, you know, that's quite a good antenna, but as you say, it is a resonated aerial for 10 and 11, and you can just about squeeze 12 on it. This one, I suppose, yes, I did cut it purely for 40, but the problem is, because everybody say, oh, a 40-metre dipole needs to be 40-metre. No, it's slightly longer normally, so that's what I've done. I've actually lengthened it, and it's actually about 42-metre long, and because I've actually got a vertical section attached to it, which I can switch in and out of phase, I can actually then run it also on top band. So, no, you know, I do like my HF antennas, although like you, Garden is not too bad. I'm 119 feet end to end, and about 52 feet from side to side. So that's good, you know, you can put a dipole, a full-size G5RV, a Wyndham, whatever you want into it, but I don't like dipole anymore. I used to, but I do find that this loop is so quiet. I let go of the mic, my needle isn't even moving, and as soon as you key up, there you are, 5.9 plus, and I can hear you, so it does work. The only problem is, like I say, what I should have done, when I actually, one of the connectors broke, that's why I had to re-trim it. I should have measured it, but I didn't. I just sort of took it all down, chopped the cable off, and then did it, and I thought, oh, that's funny. I'm getting a weird reading. And somebody said, oh, don't tell me you've actually linked in line with vertical, because what you might have done, you might have had the vertical section in line with it. So I was thinking about it, and I thought, yeah, I wonder if I did. So I took it down, and sure enough, my vertical section is actually working in parallel with the horizontal section. So I suppose it's, you know, as I say, should really be only 40 to 42 metre long, but it ended up 97 metre long, purely because of the additional bit there. But what I'm going to do later on tomorrow, because I'm working later, I'll just take it back down